So the first thing that I would do is enable the extension on the ERP side. But as soon as that is done, I can go right in here to my data warehouse and start setting up my integration. So here you can see that we don't have anything yet integrated to Solver, but we're going to very quickly remedy that. I'm going to click on Add New. And now I'm in Solver's marketplace. So this marketplace is where I have all of my different available data connectors. So in this case, for the sample, I'm going to go ahead and connect to Dynamics 365 Business Central. This would also work for finance. And I'm going to use the QuickStart method because this is what's going to give us that one-day deployment. So first thing that'll happen is it's going to prompt me to log in with my credentials so that we can access D365. And then it's going to make the connection, and I'm just going to choose, in this case, the environment to connect to, which is my production environment. And I'm also going to choose the company that I want to connect here. So the next step within the QuickStart Setup process is just confirming the data that I want to import. So for starters here, the initial QuickStart deployment is for General Ledger. So I'm going to enable General Ledger. And that little checkbox, that's more than just bringing in one field or enabling access. This has a complete configuration for General Ledger, all of the key fields that we need. That's going to include our beginning balances, our journal entry level detail, key dimensions. All of that is enabled within the standard General Ledger configuration. And in this case with Business Central, sometimes I have shortcut dimensions that I've enabled. So if I want to include some of those as well, the system recognizes that those are there. I can choose them and then go ahead and hit continue to my next step. So we are officially at the halfway point of building out our QuickStart connection. And this is where we're going to start to map our chart of accounts. So this is going to be fully mapped based on category descriptions. So I'm going to hit continue. Now, what you see on the right-hand side, those are my categories that exist in Business Central. So I want to make sure that all of my accounts have a category associated with them. And then here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose those categories and drag them into the appropriate grouping where I want them to show up within Solver. So there I've grabbed some of my cash accounts, maybe I'm going to take my inventory, and you'll go through this complete exercise to take all of your categories and map them for your balance sheet and your income statement. So this might take 15, 20 minutes, depending on how many categories you have. But as soon as you have completed that process, the next thing you're going to do is hit this continue button. And that is all of the mapping and setup that you'll have to do manually. Everything else is going to be automated and fully configured by the system. So when we get to the next step, it's going to start to create a job for us. So this is where that integration from D365 into Solver is going to occur on a continuous pre-scheduled basis. So we can choose how frequently we want that to occur, what time we want that to run, and who should get email notifications when that job completes. Once we put in those selections, it's going to take us to the summary step, which tells us exactly what's going to happen when we click the Run Now button in the bottom right-hand corner. It's going to populate all of our General Ledger data. It's going to bring in our dimensions. It's going to bring in our detailed transactions, and it's going to calculate all of the beginning balances that we need so that we can have accurate balance sheet reporting. I'm going to click the Run Now button and kick off this process so that we can build out our Solver integration and start running reports and planning templates as soon as this completes. As soon as our process completes running, we'll get a notification. And if we go to our integration section, we can see all of the jobs that have successfully completed. So we can see when they last executed and that they did so successfully. But what this means for us is that now we can go shopping in the template marketplace and pick and choose the reports, planning models, and dashboards that we want to deploy within our model here. So what I'm going to do is I just clicked on Template Marketplace, and I went to reporting. So within reporting, you'll see here that I have a number of different templates that I can basically go shopping from and choose what I want to install. If I see something I like, I can click on the details, get a little bit more information about that particular model. And if I want to include it in my deployment, all I do is click on the Add to Install button. So I can continue my shopping and go on a real shopping spree if I so choose to, add that to my installation. And when I'm ready to check out, I just click on this little shopping cart icon, install templates. And as soon as they're ready to go, I'll get that green notification telling me that my templates have successfully installed. So when we go to our report templates, we can now choose what report we want to open, and we can actually execute it live against our own data. So now what I can do is I can open this report. I can choose the parameters that I want to run it for. So I can choose the period, the company. I can even choose the version of the budget or forecast. Click on this run button, and then I can start to immediately view the results from those selections and complete my analysis within my report here. So I particularly like this report because it is a trended report, and we can see that month over month change, both for previous years, current years, and for the upcoming budget year. As I'm analyzing, if questions arise, as with any Solver report, I can right click, drill down, and see underlying transactional level details, journal entries essentially coming over from D365. So this allows me to do further analysis directly from my report. So that looked good. We're up and running with reporting. The nice thing about the template marketplace is there are constantly new templates being added and enhanced within the marketplace. So we can always go in, download some of the latest and greatest templates, or if there's a particular model that maybe we've gotten a request for, we can go into the marketplace and add that to our deployment. So let's take a look at a couple planning templates. So same process, we just go right in here to our template marketplace. And instead of reporting, we're going to go to planning. And I'm going to go ahead and install this one here, my balance sheet and my P&L. And I'm going to click install templates. Process is done. Now, instead of going to reporting, I'm going to go to my planning input templates. And from here, I can open up the model that I want to work on. So here I'm going to open up my P&L model since we were just looking at a P&L report. And if I want to, maybe based on the analysis and review that I just completed, I can go in and update my forecast. So here, this is very much a similar type of trended report where we see our actuals to date, our forecast for the remainder of the year. I can go into any of these sections, and then I can start to make adjustments to my current forecast. So let's say I want to adjust a few of these line items here. I can quickly input those changes. And then here we can see the overall impact of those changes versus the last version of the forecast. We also have that compared against prior year and budget. And if I really want to see detail, I can always expand on any of those columns and get more information. So lots of good information here to have handy while you're budgeting, as well as, of course, your drill down capabilities. But this really illustrates how that need for timely forecasting and the ability to adjust those predictions and to adjust those forecasted outcomes very, very quickly and report off of that. This is a great way to be able to do that with these templatized solutions. So once I've made the changes that I want, I can click Save Data, and I now have an updated version of my forecast available for reporting.
Now let's get a little bit deeper into analysis. And a great way to do that is with visualizations. And with solvers, connection, and templates to Power BI, we have over 50 pre-built plug-and-play templates available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here with my goals, because Power BI is a great way to track your performance against goals when you're looking at those KPIs. So here I can see that revenue, this is a goal that's assigned to me. It looks like we're tracking pretty well against this. I can also see any associated notes with this particular goal. Now, if I want to do some analysis on this, I have a linked Solver Power BI dashboard that I can open right up, and I can see my revenue numbers at a glance. Now, all of these dashboards, they're interactive. So if I want to highlight certain areas, like select certain lines of revenue, I can do that and my dashboard will adjust. I can also look at different months and toggle through those selections. If I want to continue my analysis process, I can click right back here into navigation, where I can see at a glance the over 50 dashboards that I have available to me within Power BI. So depending on the area that I want to hone in on a little bit deeper, I can click on any of these links and be directed right to that dashboard template and complete my analysis. So now we've seen that 30,000 foot view from Power BI and gotten all the way down into the details by drilling down into our reports. And everything that we've completed today from top to bottom, we were able to deploy in just one day.